Welcome back to the Believe in Diamondbacks podcast. I am your host, Jacob Dushion, and we are coming off of another homestand, a fairly successful one, if you ask me. The Arizona Diamondbacks were able to take down two NL Central teams, two back-to-back series wins, coming off of a not so pretty Boston series that we discussed last episode. But without further ado, let's jump right into this NL Central series, shall we? Game one. That was a fun one. That was a fun one. It reminded me of the Rockies series, I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when the D-backs won 9-0, as they did in this game. And then I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, 9-0, game one. I'm like, all right, let's change the history on this one a little bit because they definitely should have beaten the Rockies in that series. It happens. So they were able to beat the Reds, like I said. Starting pitcher in game one was Eduardo Rodriguez, who I'm going to talk about a little bit in this episode. He went for 5 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, no runs allowed, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Solid. The Bats did pretty well. 15 hits to the Reds, 4, and they scored 9 runs. Not bad. They left 10 guys on base. Thankfully, they won by 9, so that's not an issue, but that's not bad. And they had 4 stolen bases in that game. That was really cool to see. So, game one win. Game two, not so much. I did not go to this game, thankfully. This one was not pretty. I was at the Cardinals game when this was happening, and I kept checking the score, and I'm like, ooh, wow. The Reds did good work. They won 11-5. They had a guy hit for the cycle. They had another guy, I think, a triple away from the cycle. So they almost had 2 guys go for the cycle, which, if you understand the cycle, you'd say that's pretty dang rare. So congratulations to the Reds on that one. Starting pitcher in that game was Michael Soroka. Definitely not a good outing from returning from injury. 3.1 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. Not ideal for Mike. The bats in that one, double-digit hits, got out hit 16-10, but they left 9 guys on base. It's unfortunate. And to make things worse, the Reds left 11 on base, but luckily for them, they won by 6. So, game 2, series tied. Not ideal, but thankfully, the Sunday game, the D-backs got it done. Starting pitcher in that one was Mitch Bratt. Not his best outing, not his worst outing. He went for 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs allowed, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. A lot of threes in there. Jonathan Loaisiga did pick up the win in that game. The Diamondbacks, I believe, actually came back in this game. Yes, the Diamondbacks were down 3-0, and they came back and won it 5-3. Big win for them. Like I said, Jonathan Loaisiga got the win. Kevin Ginkel with his second save of the season. The bats in that game, 8-8. Highlight of the game, absolutely got to be Ildemar Vargas's 2-run triple to take the lead, 4-3. That was a big moment for him. That was also his 400th career hit. So, congratulations to Ildemar Vargas. And the 5th run came from Corbin Carroll later on in that game. But that was a big win. That was a big series win. Then they come into the Cubs series. And the Cubs have had the D-backs number in Phoenix since 2023. That was the last time the D-backs won a series. Wink, wink. Season series already lost, basically, if the Cubs win a single game in Phoenix. They got that out of the way. They won game 1. I was at this game. Not so fun. Had fun with my grandpa. Did not enjoy the game on the field. It is what it is. Cubs won this one 7-0. Starting pitchers in this one were Merrill Kelly for the D-backs and Kevin Gossman for the Cubs. Kevin Gossman was pretty solid. That's why they picked him up from Toronto. He went for 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, 6 strikeouts to 1 walk. Big game from Kevin Gossman. Pete Crow Armstrong, though, MVP candidate, maybe even front runner. 0 for 5 in that game. Not bad. Not bad. To have the MVP candidate, as well as another very talented guy in Alex Bregman, guy that's also been having a good season, combined for 1 for 10. I will take that in any day that ends in Y. So, D-backs lose that one. Merrill Kelly, not the worst of outings for him, going for 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs allowed, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. This is what it is. Game 2, much better. This was a comeback win. Surprise, surprise. It was the 40th comeback win of the season for the Diamondbacks, tying who else but the Chicago Cubs, the team they beat. This game felt a lot like game 1. It was 4-0 late. Like I'm talking 8th inning late. It was not good. The Diamondbacks started their scoring in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. It's about as last second as it gets, right? Gabriel Moreno One of his luckiest hits of the season. I will admit that. I will admit that. He hits I can't even say he hits. He check swings and still gets the hit. But he gets the check swing, rolls it down the first base line, hits the bag, so it's a fair ball, rolls into right field, just kind of bounces around, does its own thing back there. Double for Gabby, run scores. Finally. It only took you what? They didn't score in the day before, so it only took you 17 innings to score, virtually 17 innings to score a run. They finally do it. So then, after that, Geraldo Perdomo with 2 guys on base, runner on second and third, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Gabby on second, Newt Barr on third. Here comes Geraldo Perdomo. We all love Jerry. Here he is right here. Hits a blooper single, scores 2 runs. We got ourselves a 1-run game. How many times have the Diamondbacks come back down 1? A lot. So then the Cubs have a chance to go out there and get some insurance runs. Who do they send out there to pitch? Justin Martinez, the fireman. Good walkout song, by the way. So he goes out there and he does what Justin Martinez is capable of doing. He goes out there, 3 up, 3 down, technically. He got the first out by a flyout from, who was that? Nico Horner. Second player was Pedro Ramirez, who had a single. And then he got caught stealing by Gabby. Gabby hit him with the blowing on the fingers. And then, who's the last guy? Michael Conforto strikes out. Inning over. Dbacks are down 1 heading into the 9th. Then it gets about as late as it gets. Here it is, okay? Nolan Arenado lines out to shortstop. Tim Towell walks. They immediately pinch run. Jose Fernandez goes to first. Fine. Then Ildemaro Vargas lines out to right field. You got 2 outs right there. In comes a pinch hit and a walkout song that I really, really love. It's a Timbaland song. Mr. Ryan Waldschmidt. Pinch hits for Jorge Barosa, who pinch hit for Jordan Lawler. Because Jordan Lawler got hit in the head by a fastball. Not ideal. But here comes Ryan Waldschmidt, runner on first. Deja vu to, I think, earlier this month, actually, when they played the Dodgers, and he hit a walk-off home run. It was a second career home run, first career walk-off hit. Runner on first base. Runner's going to steal. Here comes the hit. Got it. Home run. D-backs win 5-4. Comeback complete for their 40th comeback win of the year. Amazing. You got to feel great for Ryan Waldschmidt. And once again, I have said this. This is why you don't trade your prospects. So shout out to Mike Hazen. Yes, I understand a lot of D-backs fans were not happy that they didn't go out and get Jordan Alvarez or somebody like crazy like that. But, the team, they're winning games right now. So I wouldn't really complain about, not getting huge game-changing players. Yeah, it would have been cool, but that's why you don't trade your future. Because I think once upon a time, Corbin Carroll was like, oh, this guy could be good. Look at what he's doing. I think Ryan Waldschmidt, oh, this guy could be pretty good. Can he be like Corbin Carroll? Can he be better than Corbin Carroll? We don't know. That's part of the game. Got to have the prospects develop a little bit. So, with that being said, they tied the series 1-1. Game 3, I also went to Game 3. This was a good game to be at. Felt like a playoff environment, which you love to see. Little bit too much of the blue in the stadium. Not a fan of that. D-backs fans, we could do way better. Too many Cubs fans in the stadium. I understand they don't want to live in Illinois. Arizona is a beautiful state. I understand. But got to do better. This team came into this series 2 games out of a wild card spot. Come on. We got to do better, D-backs fans. It's the crunch time. Big series coming up. I'll get to that. But anyways, Game 3. As I said earlier in this episode, I was going to talk about Eduardo Rodriguez a little bit in this episode. Starting pitchers for this game were Eduardo Rodriguez yesterday and Matthew Boyd for the Chicago Cubs. Matthew Boyd had a pretty good game. I'm going to give him his flowers. 6 innings, 1 run allowed, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. It's not bad. The 1 run he allowed was a solo shot from Jordan Lawler. It's not bad at all. Now, the starting pitcher on the other side of the diamond, Eduardo Rodriguez, one of his best outings of the year. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, 9 strikeouts, a season high, tied a season high from earlier this year, and 3 walks. That's not bad. That is a good outing from Erod. Juan Murillo came in and got the save. It was his second of the year. Losing pitcher was Matthew Boyd. Dbacks bats, 6 hits. Cubs, 2. Not bad. This was a game that, like I said, had a playoff feel to it, right? Pete Crow Armstrong, who I discussed, and I also forgot to mention his previous game stat line. Okay, in case you're doing the math, right? 0 for 5 in the first game, 0 for 3 in game 2. Quick math there. That's 0 for 8. 0 for 8. Not bad. Game 3, PCA, 1 for 4. And when I tell you, that one shouldn't have happened. That one should not have happened. It went off of Tim Towell's glove at first base. If Tim Towell timed his jump just a second earlier, or a second later, I think, he would have had it. He would have had it, and Mr. PCA might have thrown his helmet at somebody because he was very upset. I'll get to a little bit more on that in a minute, but he was very upset. He threw his helmet many times to the point where they had to take his helmet so he wouldn't throw it. It's kind of funny to watch. But yeah, 1 for 4 in this game. So that's what, a grand total of 1 for 12. The MVP, they call him. Okay. MVP goes 1 for 12. Whatever. But that goes to show, man, that Diamondbacks pitching staff did not do that bad. I know the first game wasn't great. Games 2 and 3, much better. So the D-backs won this one 2-0. The second run came from a weird play. Ryan Waldschmidt hits a sac fly to right field. Seiya Suzuki gets it. Don't know what Jordan Lawler was thinking, but he got tagged out in a double play. Thankfully, James McCann scored, but it was a weird play. So the D-backs were able to win this one 2-0. But I'm forgetting something big. There was a part of this game, I'm going to tell you exactly when it happened. This was in the 6th inning. It was a leadoff double by PCA. First pitch of his at-bat. Chicago fans sounded like they might have just won the World Series because PCA finally got a hit. Anyways, so then Seiya Suzuki grounds out to third base, and I believe that advanced a runner. Yes, PCA goes to third. Now, this is where it gets weird, okay? Michael Busch comes up. Before that, Alex Bregman comes up and flies out. So there's 2 outs. 2 outs at that point. PCA is on third. No runs have scored at this point. Michael Busch is at bat. Eduardo Rodriguez, I can't show you guys because you can't see my full body, but you've probably seen the video, but he like goes to wind up and then steps his back foot after he's already set, which is a balk. It's a balk. I'll admit it. It is a balk. We got lucky on that. They met. He was already upset. He's like, his hands are out, PCA. And this is a guy that gets angry at everything, apparently. So he's mad. And he's just like, oh, come on, man. That's a balk. The whole crowd all of a sudden is like, oh, it's a balk. It's a balk. A lot of Cubs fans, like I said, okay? They were not happy about this. So Erod's standing there like, I didn't do it. So then the 4 umpires all meet up. And they're like, oh. After review, it was not a balk. Fans were pissed. PCA turned bright red, like Cubs logo red, dang near. So he's charging the umpire. Here comes, I think his name's Quentin Berry, the third base coach, comes up to hold him back from going at the umpire. He's upset. He's yelling. The whole D-back side of the field is, oh, throw him out, throw him out. All the fans behind the dugout, they're just saying, get him out of the game. I was doing the same, of course. That'd be funny to see. But yeah, he did not get ejected. He was upset. But anyways, they move on, and he's standing there just upset. This went on for, I think, like 2 minutes. Like, this was a long altercation. So eventually Craig Counsell comes out, the manager of the Cubs, comes out. He's talking to the umpires, and the boos start. They're like, come on, get the game back on. So after that, Michael Busch ends up walking. So then you got a runner on first and third. And then this was probably the biggest strikeout of the day because you got a runner 90 feet away. He almost stole home on that balk. It was a balk. I won't lie. So Nico Horner strikes out. That's Eduardo Rodriguez's 8th of the game. I said he had 9. So that was big. Then right after that, actually the next batter, 4 pitches later, Jordan Lawler hits it to right field about 10 to 15 feet away from me. It was awesome. Home run. And he's a right-handed hitter, so he usually doesn't hit over there. But yeah, home run, 1-0 lead. Probably should have been 1-1. Maybe Dbacks don't score in that alternate timeline, but it is what it is. Am I complaining that the Diamondbacks won a game on a bad call? Absolutely not. Never will. Sorry for the Cubs fans that Erod double doinked the mound. Sorry if that's too soon, double doink. But anyways, yeah, Erod, awesome game. The second run came from the Ryan Walshman, like I said. And then, yeah, Erod went until the 7th inning. He got the last out of his outing on a strikeout. And he was pumped up. He was really pumped up. He struck out Carson Kelly on the 10th pitch of the at bat. Here, I'm gonna read the sequence here, okay? Strike, foul, 0-2 count immediately. Foul ball, okay? Ball, ball, ball. That's a full count. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, swing and strike. Took 10 pitches. It took 10 pitches to finally get the former Diamondback, but Eduardo Rodriguez continued his outstanding outing. I love going to the game and hearing his walkout song and seeing him pitch a good game. It just gives me chills. He's an awesome player. If you saw my first episode of the season, I did my predictions. This was a bad take. I will not lie. I said that Zach Gallen is going to be our best pitcher this year. Not in the slightest. Wish I would have shown more love to Eduardo Rodriguez because he has been outstanding this year. Really, really happy for him. Well-deserved all-star game earlier this year. And I think he deserves to be in the conversation for NL Cy Young. I know he's not going to win it. Jacob Mizorowski's having a historic year. Shout out to Jacob. But yeah, that's got to be a conversation. Just throw him in there. Eduardo Rodriguez at Arizona. Pretty fun to watch. Pretty good player. Yeah, but got to give it to Mizorowski. I understand. So, as it stands, I also forgot to add that the Padres and the Phillies lost both game 1 and game 2 of our series. So, game 1, nothing happened. Game 2, D-backs catch up a game. So now as it stands, the Diamondbacks are 1 game back. The Diamondbacks, listen to this. The Diamondbacks are going into San Francisco for a 4-game series, 3 days worth of games. Not happy about that, but they get a day off after the series. So that's a team they have dominated this year, safe to say. 54-79 record, take care of business, D-backs, need to. But for other perspective, okay, there are not a lot of other games today, I just realized. But Friday, okay, the San Diego Padres are at the Rays. The Rays, I think, are still the best team in the AL. That's not an easy series. And the Phillies are at the Angels. You never know. I think Mike Trout's healthy. Mike Trout is healthy. Maybe the Mike Trout Legacy Series to help out the D-backs. But yeah, Diamondbacks are at the Giants. Padres are at the Rays. And the Phillies are at the Angels for this weekend series, okay? If the Rays can win that series and the D-backs can win that series, swap. They swap spots. And the Diamondbacks are back in the playoffs. And then, here's the crazy thing about that. After the series against the Giants, the Arizona Diamondbacks come home August 31st for the start of I think it's a 3-game series, a 3-game series against the Philadelphia Phillies. They have a chance to essentially decide their destiny in the next few weeks, in the next month, because I'm going to run through this here, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about Eduardo Rodriguez because he has been awesome. Over the next month, here are the following series that we have. 4 games against the Giants, at the Giants. 3 games against the Phillies at home. 3 at the Astros. Astros have been pretty solid, but they're a game under 500 as it stands. Winnable. Then they played the Kansas City Royals. 3 games in Kansas City. Royals are pretty far under 500 at the moment. Winnable series. They come home for a while. They come home for a 9-game homestand. And I think this is going to be tough, but I think all 3 of these series are winnable. They play the Texas Rangers, under 500. They play the Miami Marlins, 2 games over 500. And then they play the New York Yankees, tough team. That's going to be the toughest of the 3 more than likely. But the D-backs at home are good. But then they close out the series 6 road games at the NL West, 3 at Colorado, 3 at San Diego. I really think the Diamondbacks would be able to win all these series. I do. Maybe that's being delusional or just having a lot of faith, but you have to. I really think they could win every series they have left. They just have to play to their game, and they probably need some guys to come back from injury. But with that being said, the Diamondbacks currently are 71 and 63, 8 games above 500. They are third in the National League West by a game. Like I said, the Padres are 1 game up. Diamondbacks have won 5 of their last 10, so 5-5. Not the best, not the worst. They are, let's see. Let's do a little bit of a standings check in the NL wild card. Currently, the Brewers are back on top, 82 and 51. Dodgers are second, 80 and 53. The Braves are third, 78 and 55. The Cubs are fourth, 76 and 58. They are 4 games up on the Padres. The Phillies are 2 games up on the Padres at 74 and 60. Padres are 1 game up on the Diamondbacks at 72 and 62. Dbacks 1 game back, 71 and 63. The Miami Marlins could still do it. They're 4 games back at 68 and 66. Cardinals 5.5 back, 67 to 68. After that, I'm going to give it a very good chance, not likely making the playoffs. The Pirates, Reds, Nationals, Mets, Giants, and Rockies. The AL side, just in case you're curious, the Rays are the top spot at 79 and 54, followed by the White Sox, the Astros, and the Yankees. And then, the Yankees are the top spot in the wild card. They are 8 games up. The Red Sox are second. What a comeback, by the way. 5.5 games up on the Guardians, and the Guardians are 68 and 66. Every single team after the Guardians has a losing record. That is unreal. If you put the D-backs in the AL right now, what did I say their record was? Let me see. The Arizona Diamondbacks have 71 wins. If they were in the AL, they'd be the last wild card spot by 2 games. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. But a couple things here. We're going to preview the series upcoming, starting later tonight. And actually, we have some roster moves here from the Diamondbacks. It will be right-handed pitcher Jose Cabrera being recalled from AAA Reno, and right-handed pitcher Dre Jameson being optioned to AAA Reno. So Dre is being sent back down. Jose is getting called up. He's getting the start tonight at the Giants. So hopefully he can do as good as he did in his debut. Hasn't done too well after that. That's why they sent him back down, but anything is possible. Maybe he just needed some more playing time down at Reno. So we'll see how that goes for Mr. Cabrera. But this is a big series, like I said. Lineup has not come out yet. If it comes out in the middle of this episode, then you guys know I will let you know. I think the Giants has come out somewhat. Yeah. The Giants, here's the Giants lineup. They will be sending out Landon Rout, I think it's Rout, for their pitcher. He's got a 7-13 record, 4.34 ERA, 130 strikeouts. Let's see. Batting first is Drew Gilbert. Batting second, Rafael Devers. Batting third, Bryce Eldridge. Batting fourth, Jonah Cox. Batting fifth, Turner Hill. Batting sixth, Shea Whitcomb. Batting seventh, Drew Kavanaugh. Batting eighth, Christian Koss. Batting ninth, Nate Furman. Not bad. It seems like they have a lot of injuries at the moment. That's why they're not doing so good. And let's see. They've got Casey Schmidt hurt. Willie Adames is hurt. Matt Chapman is hurt. Adrian Hauser is hurt. JT Brubaker, I don't know. He's hurt. Marcelo Mayer's hurt. Daniel Susac is hurt. Trevor McDonald, Keaton Wynn, Harrison Bader. That is a lot of hurt players. I understand why they're 54 and 79. So this is a winnable game for sure. Just got to go play their game. Offense has to continue doing what they're doing, and we'll see what can happen. Let's see if the probable pitchers for tomorrow and onward are on there yet. It's likely going to be Blade Tidwell for the Giants. Arizona's not on here yet. Blade has a 0-0 record, 3.58 ERA, 27 strikeouts. Solid. Saturday's game, likely going to be Merrill Kelly for the D-backs. He's got an 8-12 record, 5.35 ERA, 88 strikeouts. If I'm not mistaken, Merrill on the road at the Giants historically is pretty good. So we will see how that goes. And no probable pitcher for the Giants on Sunday or Saturday. And then, the doubleheader. That's right. We've got a doubleheader. So they're going to play game 1 at 1 o'clock, game 2 at 7 o'clock. Probable pitcher. It's not Merrill Kelly. It's not Merrill Kelly twice. No. Okay. So I don't know who they're going to have pitching on the doubleheader yet, but it's not going to be Merrill twice. I don't even think that's allowed. But anyways, that was a big homestand for the Diamondbacks that just wrapped up against two tough NL Central teams that are both in the wild card hunt. Fair. Now they got a big one against the Giants, division rival that they have dominated this year. See what they can do. We will see what they can do. Like I mentioned, though, I want to talk about Eduardo Rodriguez a little bit before we wrap this up. And by the way, if you're interested in Ketel Marte update, they're saying he could be back Monday, Tuesday, one or the other for the Phillies series. Would be nice. Going to be interesting to see. I think if he apologizes to the team and plays well, I think we'll make it water under the bridge, but we will see. But I want to talk about Eduardo Rodriguez. He's had a great year. Started talking about it a little bit ago, and I think I lost my train of thought. But here are his stats for the year, okay? He has started 27 games for the Dbacks this year. They have won 21 of them. Not all his doing. Offense can have a big game. I understand that. But that's a big help. If you have a pitcher that's doing well, that's a big help. He's got a 14-4 record, 2.50 ERA, 119 strikeouts, a 1.19 whip. He's allowed a batting average of 231. Not bad. 14 home runs allowed, and he's gone for 162 innings on the dot. If you do the math, I did. That is 6 innings a game, which is all you can ask for. That's a quality start, essentially. Over his last 4 starts, though, he's allowed 4 total runs. He has gone, 25 2/3 of an inning with, 9, 13, 18, with 27 strikeouts. It's pretty good. So he's done well. He's got 4 wins in a row, and he's got 6 of his last 7 wins, or 6 of his last 7 starts have been wins. That's unreal. So it's been nice. Erod has had a great year. Like I said, I want him to be in the conversation for NL Cy Young. Don't give him the award. I know he won't, but he's had a great year, and we really appreciate that here because he's been a big help. If this team makes the playoffs, he needs a lot of credit for that. But I think that's all I've got for today. Big series coming up with the Giants series, very winnable series. We'll see what they can do. And then a huge series coming up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against the Phillies. Keep in mind, they already beat the Phillies in Philly earlier this year, so take care of business again. And if it comes down to a tiebreaker, all they got to do is win 1. No. If they win 1, they guarantee a tie. If they win 2, they win the tiebreaker because they played 6 total games against the Phillies. So, doable. We'll see what they can do. But as always, thank you for joining me on the Believe in Diamondbacks podcast. I appreciate the support as always. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. It helps a lot. If you're on Spotify, drop a rating. It means a lot to me as well. Download the podcast, share the podcast, comment on the podcast if you can. Anything you could do, share it with your friend, share it with your brother, share it with your grandma, share it with your grandma's bingo guy. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do, but I'd appreciate the support. It means a lot. As always, though, thank you guys. And I hope to see you on the next episode. Hope you have a great weekend if you're watching this on Thursday or Friday. And I will catch y'all next week for a breakdown of whatever series we're breaking down. So hope to see you on the next episode. Thank you for being here on this one. I'll catch you next time.